What's going on, everyone? My name is Miles Farrington, and I am here with my co-host to bring you another wonderful episode of the MONG Podcast. This is episode 92, so if you haven't heard all of them, you should go back and listen to every single one of them. Anyway, I'm joined
Don't listen
today.
to that. Don't do that. Just listen to this one.
Yeah, they're good. There's like some topical stuff in there that wouldn't make sense now, but it's still good. Um,
So,
anyway, I'm joined by Adam Leonard.
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
Yeah, Rocky, and Jordan Leffler. I'm gonna get it right from now on.
from now on and forevermore. Yes.
Exactly. I'm sorry, I'm having to take a drink because my throat is really dry.
Because Miles hasn't eaten yet.
I'm not eating. I'm actually getting very hungry. But that is not what the fans have come here for, to hear about my issues of food and not having it. I believe we are plugging something today, which is something we plugged last week, but we're going to plug it again because we have all the plugs.
We are plugging a couple of things, Miles, actually.
Oh, we're plugging a couple things. Well,
Couple things, yes. This week, first off, to touch on what happened last week, we are currently actively recruiting for the website for writers and video audio production people. If you're creative and you love video games and you want to tell the world about your opinions with video games and would like to join awesome people such as myself, Adam, and Miles, and other cool people around the country and the world to talk about those things and to make cool things, you can join us. You can do that. You can go to our Facebook page right now. There's a article up there that'll take you to the website where you can go to the application page and send an application, and we'll interview you and find out how cool you are. So that's the first thing.
thing one.
Thing one. Thing one. Thing two is that we are launching. We are in the process of launching a giveaway for Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Bum bum bum. And the details are going to be going up on the Facebook page tonight. I'll kind of give you a little bit more here, but okay, not tonight. It's already going to be up by the time the video posts. But yeah, so you can go. You can go follow us on Twitter for an entry point. You can go on Facebook and do stuff. I just put this together and I'm completely forgetting. Excuse me. You can also tweet this message that will be available to everyone. Tweet the message and let the world know that we're having a giveaway and that you want the game. And that's something you can do daily. And then you will get 2 entries for captioning the Metal Gear Solid 5 screenshot on Facebook or Twitter. They'll be on both. But you have to pick one, and you can do both of those daily. If you are already a follower of Mong on Twitter, you just got a free entry. So congratulations.
Free stuff to go with your free stuff.
Boom.
Free stuff with free stuff.
Yeah.
And the giveaway is going to end this week. We're also doing a live stream of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Woo!
On this channel, Twitch, and it's going to be happening Friday at 8 p.m. So that's like almost 3 things, actually. There's a lot of things going on this week.
There is. It's the super week of things to happen.
Well, Metal Gear is coming out, so we had to make it special.
Yeah, always for Metal Gear, right?
Yeah, buddy.
So, speaking of Metal Gear, and this is a bad segue because Metal Gear's not out yet, so we can't actually be playing Metal Gear. What's everybody been playing? What's everybody been up to and all that good stuff?
Adam's probably more interesting than I am.
You say that every week.
It's true.
I was on the review path this week. I actually have been reviewing the latest entry in the Danganronpa franchise. It's Danganronpa: Another Story, Ultra Despair Girls.
Danganronpa.
That name. I'm sorry. The subtitle got me. How is it?
I was kind of surprised, but I didn't know what to make of it because it's not like the other Danganronpa games. They basically decided to hop genres, and they only showed the minimal amount of stuff in like the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I don't know if anybody else will be interested to read other people's reviews to see if anybody else draws a parallel. But it's kind of timely because it kind of felt like they wanted to make a Metal Gear Solid game.
Huh.
It's like a third-person shooter that's very heavy on story and character, and I was really pleasantly surprised. I mean, there's a few small drawbacks, and when the embargo lifts, actually tonight, my review will be out where I kind of discuss it in length. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I am consistently still enjoying everything that's coming out in that franchise.
Nice. Very good. Now, Danganronpa is usually like a crime mystery game, right?
It's like half high
Visual
school
novel.
simulator, half murder mystery.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, it is like at the heart it is solving a series of murders.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's always interesting when a franchise just like, hey, we've been doing this left thing. Let's just go right and see how people like it. So, sounds good.
Yep, but they took a risk, and I think that I think it's an impressive entry that shows that there's still life left in the Vita.
Hmm.
Maybe not like AAA blockbusters, but I mean, I think there's enough indie stuff and enough support from Japan that it's still totally worthy owning a PlayStation Vita.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, Jordan, you have to give us something from your self-proclaimed
So
boring week.
yeah, so last week I said I was gonna play The Witcher, and then I didn't. Uh,
I don't blame you.
and I like even put it in and everything, and then I saw that the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta came out,
Hmm.
and I was like, I don't think I've played a Call of Duty game since the first Black Ops came out.
Hmm.
And I was like, maybe I should give this a shot and see how I like it. And I didn't enjoy it at all. So yeah, I don't know. It felt exactly like I would expect a Call of Duty game to feel,
Hmm.
um, which isn't really a complaint against the series. It's just really a complaint coming from me. Like I've moved on in my first person shooter genre, I guess. Like I don't really want to play maps that are like this size and you can only do this amount of things in this map. Like I was trying to go up on top of buildings and stuff like that and I couldn't do it, which seems strange because you get like the double jump feature now. You can like wall run and stuff like that. And it's like, why are they limiting me so much? Like I wanted to sit in the bushes and snipe and stuff, and there's like hardly any of that. Granted, there's not a lot of variation. It's a beta,
Hmm.
obviously,
Right.
as far as the maps go. But I don't know. I'm much more. I like playing Battlefield. I like having expansive maps. I like having a whole place to run around in, blow up walls, get in vehicles, blow things up, blow up vehicles, stuff like that. So yeah, I think I've begun a very distant departure from Call of Duty.
Well,
Now, get teabagged by any 11-year-olds? That's the question. Those
No,
names are like a combination of like a lead reference and a sex act.
regrettably, I did not.
Okay.
Maybe that's really what I was missing. Maybe I just didn't play it the right way, and that's what I needed to really enjoy the experience. But yeah, no.
nothing is as annoying and infuriating as getting teabagged by an 11-year-old. I had someone
Mhm.
teabag me earlier in Destiny, and they didn't even kill me. That I don't understand how teabagging has evolved over the years. It's just like, oh, my buddy got you, but I'm gonna go ahead and All right. Anyway, enough of that.
Well, with
That's
maybe
That would be such a good videos feature for our site.
just teabags of the
just
month.
people teabagging live people.
The evolution of teabagging in video games.
That would be actually kind of interesting.
Maybe they just didn't want to be mistaken for a necrophiliac. You think about
Uh,
think about it.
uh, maybe audio listeners, you did not just cut out. We just didn't know how to respond to that. Anyway,
Well, wait, to clarify, were you like I have the way I heard it is that Miles was already dead, and some random guy who did not kill him just decided to come up and teabag him for the
No,
hell
yeah,
I
of
heard
it.
that
yeah.
Miles wasn't dead.
I wasn't. No, I was dead. I was dead. Someone had killed me, and then one of his teammates, who had not killed me, just kind of ran up, teabagged me, and I was like, "What? You didn't do anything."
So it was like a teabag assist.
Not even. It's like the other guy was cool. He just kind of like killed me and went about his way, and this other dude was just like,
No, he was like, "No, man, I'll get that for you. I'll get that for you."
yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, that's what I've been doing with my week. Just still preparing for the Taken King, and have I played anything else this week? No, I haven't. I've been doing a lot of Crucible. It's
You get
yeah, I got teabag. I don't I've also noticed this is a teabagging segment now. This is a thing now. Some people will teabag you, and they'll be across the map, like if they sniped you. And of course, instead of going all the way to your body, because that's really ineffectual and they'll probably die on the way, they'll like stand and they know that your cam goes to them when you die, and they'll just start going up and down. It's just like that's just it's the worst if you ask me. Like I hate people who do
they're
that, but still.
spiritually projecting their teabagging.
Exactly. It's just like, well, you don't teabag me if you're not even gonna be near me.
Hey,
Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Teabag.
yeah, okay. I mean, like, just because you're a sniper doesn't mean you don't get to teabag, Miles. Don't be classist.
It's. I mean, there's no classes. I can't snipe anyway. I tried. Anyway, enough about teabagging. I think our audience probably had enough of that.
And we
Uh,
just lost everyone.
too many images in people's heads and such. That I'm sorry if I actually just made you think about it from that. But anyway, we should probably get on to the news from nowhere.
Yes.
Ah, so
Yes.
story number one is that it happened like right after we recorded podcast last week, so we didn't get to touch on it. I don't believe, but Rainbow Six Siege was delayed, and the Ubisoft team has had a little something to say about it. Um, I'll start reading verbatim. I'll try and summarize some of this though. Whether it's been through playtests in our studios, the closed alpha, or recent hands-on demos at events like E3 or Gamescom, player feedback has been essential to the development of Rainbow Six Siege. Getting the game in people's hands and listening to what they have to say helps us understand what we can do to improve their experience. And we'd like to thank everyone who's taken part of the process so far. With that in mind, we've decided to push the release date of Rainbow Six Siege to December 1st, 2015 for all regions. This wasn't an easy decision, but based on the feedback we received and based on our own internal tests, we felt that there are adjustments and improvements that we can make, including improving the co-op experience across all game modes, weapon and gadget balancing, which is very important, in case you didn't know that, as well as menu and interface navigation. We're taking a little time, excuse me, a little more time to make these changes, and we think it's the right call. There's more, but that pretty much summarizes the basics of it. So, yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is a pretty big one right now. That's on a lot of people's get lists. Uh, what do you guys think of this? Like, seems reasonable to me, but I'm a
Mhm.
reasonable person.
Yeah, I usually don't get too upset when a game is delayed. I mean, if Metal Gear got delayed, like at this point it'd be ridiculous, but probably like a month ago, I would be saddened because I'd have to wait that much longer. But I would understand that the game needs it. That's fine. Whatever it needs in order to become a better game, sure. And I think most reasonable people um, think that way. Um, for me, like actually, Rainbow Six Siege is probably up there with the first-person shooters that I'm interested in. I was a big SOCOM 2 player back in the day, and I really like tactical multiplayer shooters. And it seems like there's a lot of like kind of like the breach missions and stuff like that that seem really cool. Protecting VIPs, holding down a fort and stuff like that. That's kind of what I go for, and I like it when we can actually have meaningful conversations uh, in a server rather than bitch just teabagged me.
Oh, callback. I see what you did there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean this makes a lot of sense. Honestly, we've seen it. It's like at where the grammar where the video game the gamer
Field.
community. There we go. That's the word. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Where the community is right now, it's much more intelligent to delay something, especially a big AAA title like Rainbow Six Siege, than release it and have like balancing issues, or like if the AI is silly, like I don't know, if you're supposed to protect the hostage and they just run from you, that would be
That'd be
way
amazing.
That would be awful, and that would be way like that would be just a much bigger problem than just being like we're just gonna push it back a little bit, guys, because yeah, I mean, if the game came out and had those issues, it would just get just mortally wounded by all of the naysayers and negativity. I mean, that's
Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4, yeah, which still isn't
Mm.
fixed
I
completely.
don't think so. I
Yeah,
think was the new one that came out.
Hardline.
Yeah,
Hardline.
it came out and they were basically like, "Look at the new game we made."
It's like, what about Battlefield 4, guys? They're like, no, no, What do you think, Adam?
I mean, basically, it's been pretty well covered. I mean, I'd rather them release a good game than try to rush out and release something flawed or broken.
Mm,
Rainbow Siege, Rainbow Six Siege looks really cool. I appreciate everything it's doing, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to be good at that game. I'm sure I'll probably pick it up or
mm.
desperately going like this time I'll actually like really do the multiplayer thing. I'm sure I'll try, and I'm sure I'll suck. And then probably after a week, maybe two at most, I'll probably move on to some single player game that I can just like kind of drown myself in. And
Fallout 4.
Yeah, Fallout 4.
yeah, that's yeah,
Well, Fallout 4 comes out before Rainbow Six Siege, right?
Right, but I mean, let's
yeah,
face it, you're gonna
like
be playing that for the
and
next year.
It'll be
that's
like,
true. That's definitely
no, I'm not gonna make that jokes. No, no AA jokes. Uh, drown your sorrows in some Fallout 4. Anyway, yeah.
well,
So,
it's like okay. To use an analogy I used on the website yesterday, like as far as like my gaming love goes, like this year, Fallout 4 is my soulmate, but Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be that crazy Vegas fling you have before you get married, and then tonight until dawn's the hand job you get in a truck stop on the way to Vegas.
wow, we went adult with that one. I get it, but we went adult. uh, I That's understandable. And for you kids who don't understand it, don't tell your parents and don't ask about it.
It's a
But
job. It's just a job.
yeah,
Yeah,
playing video games. And I'm
mhm.
not gonna no, I'm not gonna try and explain this. Anyway, we should probably move on. Uh,
Yes, indeed.
yeah, I think we all agree on that topic that it's
Yeah.
good that they're delaying it. So
Okay, so moving on.
yeah,
Something else we could probably all agree on is that cheaters deserve to be punished.
yes,
Yes.
most definitely.
Even, especially cheaters who cheat on their soulmates of the gaming industry for the year. Adam, with your truck stop and Vegas fling.
You're just not letting
Mhm.
that go, huh? Oh, what just happened?
So, anyways, the story is EverQuest 2 cheats getting sent to prison servers. All right. Daybreak Game Company has announced that it is introducing a new server for EverQuest 2 called Drunder, which will act as a sort of prison server for rule breakers. According to the EverQuest 2 forums, players who are caught breaking our rules and disrupting EQ2 live server gameplay will be flagged for this server and no others, ever. Once on the Drunder server, players can never leave or transfer to another server. The prison server won't have any customer support and requires a fully maintained membership to play. On the server, players will be able to do whatever they like. This might actually sound appealing to some people, so there's an option to ask to join the server.
Wow.
Just be aware that it's a one-way trip for your entire account. Daybreak also requests that you use the petition system rather than breaking the rules on an actual server to get the transfer. EverQuest 2 came out in 2004 and blah 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 pop stuff at the end,
This sounds awesome to me.
right? All
Yeah.
right, so here's the question. Would you want to be? I mean, I
No.
don't play EverQuest. I don't play EverQuest, and I don't know if you guys do. But would you want to be on the Australia server?
Nope. Like
If I didn't take the game serious.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Like
mean, you're playing EverQuest. You probably take it fairly seriously, and if you played EverQuest enough to know like how to cheat in it,
yeah, yeah. I honestly like I imagine that everyone who thinks it sounds cool is gonna get there, and like within 5 minutes they're gonna be like, "This is the worst thing that's ever happened to this game ever." But I
well,
respect. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, couldn't you also just make another profile? Like, isn't there just like another account that you could make to
I guess.
not be in that server anymore?
I guess, but then you're still paying like you're paying for two different accounts, which
I
to
suppose.
me that seems like a waste of money just to play with a bunch of cheaters. But I mean,
If you want to try it, I guess is what
yeah,
I mean. Like, if you want to try it, you just make another account and not get yours banned to prison
yeah, make a Smurf as they call them. But
to escape from New York.
yeah, like I'm honestly like I'm thinking about that, like just Prison Break EverQuest edition. Just people get thrown in there just to see if they can get out. But I like this. This is a really creative way to
Yeah.
punish cheaters, and honestly, I love it when companies are like, instead of just banning you, we're gonna come up with something fun, a fun way to make you regret the decisions you made.
I want to say it was Guild Wars 2 or something like that, that the creator or someone, like in the development team, like took this cheater and made an example of them by recording them taking control of the character, stripping him naked, and jumping like off of like this building, like in the town center or something like that, and killing him and then banning him from the game.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's kind of
Like this,
hardcore.
there's a video on YouTube. Like I'm sure you could find it. It's pretty amazing. Like the person like is forced to watch them not control their character at all the entire time.
That's amazing, honestly. What do you think of a prison server EverQuest 2? Blah blah. Adam.
I wanna see it. I think it's gonna be absolutely hilarious, and it's just gonna be like you said, Australia, and there's gonna
Yeah.
be kind of like not just Australia, but Australia as told by Mad Max, except with a lot more teabagging than like death vehicles.
They just put you on the front of your mount. You're just like your character's just tied to a horse, and they're just riding around. Um, yeah, but just for any Australians who listen to us, if I don't know if you do, or anyone who is an Australian is just overly sensitive, we're making a reference to how Australia got started, just so you're clear, and
I
we're
think they're
not.
aware of that.
I just want to cover our bases. I don't want anybody to write in and just be like, "How dare you talk about Australia like this?" Never listening again. Uh,
No, Australia. I've always wanted to go there, and then I realized the enormous many spiders they have, and it sounds like a
mhm.
cool place, but that's not something that I can deal with. So props for being super like not arachnophobic, I guess.
I had a friend who
It's
lived in
not just
us.
spiders; like everything wants to kill you there.
Definitely, yeah. It's like they have spiders that eat birds. They have everything. It's even the kangaroos can kill you. Have you seen kangaroos recently? They like
Yeah.
started doing steroids or something because they can choke you out if they want to. But this has been your Australia segment of the podcast. We're adding a lot of new segments today. We're focus testing, seeing what people think.
I don't know if you
Um,
noticed, but if we record earlier in the week, we get off on tangents much easier.
this is true actually. It could be that we're tired.
Yes.
I'm not sure. All right, but enough about Australia and EverQuest 2 prison servers. Adam,
Maybe synonymous.
would you like?
Uh,
Go ahead.
Yokai Watch video game launched on November 6th on the 3DS.
Yeah.
It apparently is based upon some kind of popular children's TV show. Looks suspiciously a lot like another. It looks kind of like Pokemon.
Yeah,
It is a lot like Pokemon.
it is.
From what I understand, I haven't played it, but apparently it's a lot like Pokemon.
I've
Hmm.
heard people say that this might be the Pokemon killer. I'm like, I don't think it can kill Pokemon because Pokemon's kind of like above being killed at this point. But it, I looked up some
Yeah,
gameplay and I was like, this looks like it could not do damage because Pokemon's too big by now. But it could be like a contender up there for sales at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is really popular in Japan right now. But yeah, the launch date we'll be able to try and see what the Japanese people are loving so much about watches. Yokai.
Yokai.
Yeah.
Watching them yokai. I
so
think
you
that's
said.
something. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Miles. So you watched gameplay of this.
Yeah, yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
It was a while ago, but from what I remember,
Okay.
it's turn based. Of course, it's honestly like it looks like a lot of the mechanics do kind of take from Pokemon a little bit. Well, Pokemon's like the most cut and dry RPG system ever, but it's
Right.
turn based. I believe there was like a bit of a timing mechanic in it. I think something with the watch. I'm just like butchering this for anyone who's like a big fan. They're just sitting there, just like that's not how it works at all.
Not how it works, Miles.
But yeah, I mean, it looks interesting, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna buy a DS for it, but when I inevitably buy my next DS for the next Pokemon game, I'll probably try and pick it up at some point.
Okay, fair.
As far as I remember, as far like what the story is, I
Mm.
think there's this kid who lives in Pallet Town. And no, he like there's something about how nobody can see the monsters or something like that. They're all invisible,
Huh.
and then he gets something like glasses or maybe a watch. I don't know. It might be a watch that allows him to like see them or capture them or control them or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty Pokemon-y, but yeah, I think the biggest thing about this is it's also being made by Level 5, who are the people behind some other really popular games, which I am stalling with words, so I can find that listing. And I got Level 5 Studio is now Pure Energy Fitness Center when I looked it up in Google. So
Pure energy.
yeah, Pure Energy. There we go. Level 5 game company. I believe they made Freedom Wars, maybe. Maybe. No, I don't know. They made a lot of really popular games though, like Fantasy Life, Professor Layton, um,
Mm,
True Fantasy Live Online, which
Sounds like a lot of Nintendo stuff.
yeah, it's Dark Cloud actually, so not strictly Nintendo. Dragon Quest 8, so they've got a pedigree at this point. Rogue Galaxy,
yes.
Jean d'Arc. So yeah, that actually that also might be why people are so excited for this because their list of titles they've put out is very impressive actually. Like a lot of really good RPGs, a lot of good
Mhm.
tactics games. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game does when it hits America. Because who knows? Maybe it can take over Pokemon here. Because
You know, and it might be that like they might be aiming for a younger crowd, like maybe somewhat a crowd that doesn't know what Pokemon really is anymore. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, but like I don't know. I feel like there's someone who's going to pick up Yokai Watch. They're gonna like release the television series here, and like it's
mm,
just gonna kind of restart the. I don't want to call it a fad because Pokemon's not really a fad anymore,
craze,
but yeah.
the Poke craze. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it'll ever take over Pokemon, but maybe here because
Probably not.
we don't have like a Pokemon building in America, so who knows?
All right,
It'll find a niche crowd, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe.
Because there's plenty of like Pokemon knockoffs. I mean, there's like Yu-Gi-Oh and like Digimon and stuff, and they all seem to have their dedicated fans. So I suspect this will be the same.
I just want to point out something that our dear Studio Level 5 put out. Girls RPG Cinderella Life.
Hmm. Cinderella.
Cinderella Life. I
Hmm.
came out in the Nintendo 3DS. Only in Japan, of course. I don't think that would have flown well to here or too well here. I'm so tired. But that who knows? That might have been like their best title yet, and I'm just making fun of something because of words.
No, that's a great title actually. I love that title. Cinderella Life. That's clever.
It's definitely inventive, yeah. But I'm sure the Yokai Watch is coming.
Okay,
Be
watch.
be be ready to praise our new gods.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yokai.
I think none of us know nearly enough about Yokai Watch.
Probably not. We had some good
Mm.
opinions about it though. I'm out of water. Anyway, moving on. You can now sign up for PlayStation 4 firmware beta testing, which is cool. Be a guinea pig, right? Sony is giving PlayStation 4 owners the chance to put new versions of the firmware through their paces. The application process is simple. Hey, I've done it, and you can complete it right now. You can only apply via a master account, so if you're a sub account holder, you gotta ask your parents or your roommate or whoever has the master account to your sub account. The program is scheduled to begin in early September. Um, and it says if beta users do run into problems, Sony is making it possible to roll back to the latest public release, which is ingenious if you ask me, because that could save you from a bricked system, maybe? I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, you just sign up with your PlayStation ID. And I feel like this is one of the few things that PlayStation is a little bit late to the game on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Microsoft's been doing this for a while.
Yep. They were doing that back with the
Um,
Yep.
Xbox 360.
Now, that being said, Miles, you said that you signed up for it.
I did.
Yeah, I have no interest in doing that. Like, I don't, I don't have anything against doing betas or anything like that, but I don't like the idea of just testing out like I guess like the operating system, or I guess the firmware is the right word, because that could really mess with some stuff. And I love PlayStation. I don't trust them nearly enough to do that. Their updates already have enough bugs that I don't need them like corrupting my PlayStation or my save files or something stupid like that, and then breaking my system. Which Miles is all of a sudden thinking about. He's like, "Oh
I am.
my god!"
I didn't think about that at all.
Like, I mean, I don't think it will happen, but I also just don't trust them. I don't, not at all.
That is completely understandable. Adam, what do you think?
Do you think, like, in the clause you had to sign, Miles, that they slipped in something that, like, absolves them if they do brick your console?
Probably.
I was just
I
like,
pray it doesn't happen.
no.
I mean, if it does happen, at least I have a job now.
I. That's true. That helps you buy a new one potentially.
Just a little bit.
Um, yeah, that's fine. Like they can do that. I signed up for the Xbox One, and it was neat for like 2 minutes, and then I just ignored it and have never done anything with it again. So
Yeah, I was
you do it, Sony.
I admit this is probably I'm always like one that likes to be on the cusp of new things. Hence why, even though I said I wasn't going to for like a year, my big PC is now running Windows 10, and my laptop, which was supposed to be running Windows 10 first, so I could test it out, is still not been turned on for like the last 3 months. So that just says something. But I remember really enjoying programs like this on the Xbox 360. Like I honestly I enjoyed it so much that like when I don't know if you all heard about this when they were switching from the blades to the like was it the second iteration of the dashboard and everything, you could uh you could download the update. It wasn't official yet, but you could download it onto a flash drive and install it from the flash drive. And like yeah, that was one of those things. It was like this isn't official. Once you do it, you can't get online until they like fully like roll it out and everything. And
I
I
was
went
gonna
ahead
say,
and did
like,
it.
that seems like such a roundabout way to do it. It's so strange.
It was like I was offline. I couldn't get online to play Gears or anything for like a week, I think. And I was just like, I'm gonna do it because I want to see it. I want the new dashboard. So yeah, that's just my devotion to new things.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and I get that. Like, I understand why people would want to test it, like, just kind of be the first to play with it and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't play with my PlayStation's, like, settings nearly enough to probably even understand what they were trying to do, unless it's something really big, which sounds like there's some big stuff on the way, like they're going to be doing the YouTube streaming and stuff like that, which sounds cool.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not enough for me. I don't want to spend time testing the background of my PlayStation while I could be just playing a game.
Valid point. Very valid point. Yeah. Well,
But I also get why they're doing it. I mean, they need to catch up.
yeah.
So
I'm actually excited to see what comes of this. Like, will we be getting folders finally? Probably
that'd be
not,
awesome.
but it'd be nice. Yeah.
All right. So next up on the list is loading. Somebody else want to read it? I'll catch up.
It's actually loading for me as well. The site might be down. Oh well, I was gonna say I
Nope,
know it
I got
a
it.
little bit
I
off
got
the
it.
top of my head. But
Okay. So The Flock, which is a multiplayer horror title, is out now. But if you don't know anything about it, it's also out for a limited time. It says a new trailer offers a closer look at The Flock, a game that will disappear from stores once a certain number of players die in game. The asymmetrical horror game offers the community 215,358,979 lives to burn through as a whole. Once that stock is depleted, the game will vanish from all storefronts. The flock will remain in the libraries of those who purchased it, and those players will be the only ones able to witness the game's big finish. The dark and foreboding world of the flock is pictured in the screenshots below. If you go to Game Informer's website, they're there. The entirety of the game is experienced as a PvP showdown between the post-human flock and carrier creatures. All players begin the match as one of the flock, who all must scour the level in search of the light artifact, which will then transform the holder into the carrier. You can find out more about the battle between the carrier and the flock in our preview here, blah, blah, blah. The flock is out now for PC and can be found on Steam, the Humble Store, and Game's official website for $16.99. Get it while you can. I think it's a cool idea for a game. I don't like the idea of a game that I have to buy and never play again, though.
No.
I think there are a lot of people out there who probably don't like that idea. But if this works and if it's a really good payoff, I think it could spawn more things like this in the future. Yeah, it's something that can make or break this kind of idea.
Definitely. I was way more excited about this before I found out what the price tag is, because I'm not broke, but I don't like spending a lot of money, like most people. And $16.99, I was like, that's awesome, and this is an awesome idea, but I would rather just watch a streamer because I would probably get in there and waste like a million of those lives. So no, I'm gonna just like let everyone else have their fun. But the concept, when I first heard about this, I was just like mind blown. I was like, what? A game that will just disappear once people die a certain amount of times? Speaking of which, like, how did they come up with that amount of lives? That very
Yeah,
odd
I don't
number.
know. I feel like it's going to be something like, I don't know. Maybe it's like Lost, and it's the numbers from Lost.
It's all just one conspiracy. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the actual numbers, but it's like the numbers. I know the numbers.
You, that, okay, then we have a Lost fan here. Yeah. Adam, are you gonna be jumping in and killing off some of the lives?
It'd be really funny if like only like 10 people buy this game and they're like literally just playing it for like 20 years trying to complete those lives to try to
Yeah.
get that damn whatever it is that unlocks once they lose all the lives.
I thought the same thing, yeah.
At the same vein, I
It's a
go ahead.
go.
No, I talk a
You go.
lot. Go ahead. Okay, fine. I'll go. In the same vein, I imagine there's gonna be one. There's probably gonna be a lot of people because people are jerks who are just gonna buy the game and just keep dying, just trying to use up as many lives as they can. And I'd be
Oh
What, Adam? Go ahead.
no, I was just not. I was saying yeah. Just I was humming in approval.
yeah.
Oh,
No.
but it sounds like so. Like the way you die is actually by progressing the game. Like you're like when you turn into a carrier, I think it counts as a death.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
different then. Oh, yeah, that's gonna take a while then because having to get to
I mean,
like
well, I think you die. You can probably die and
yeah.
then turn into a carrier, and they both count as like
Oh, so it's like
I don't know.
so it's like what is it called? Well, infect mode in Halo is what I'm thinking about. I was trying to think of the childhood game where when you tag someone, they are like an extension of you at that point. That might just be tag. But yeah,
Yeah, and then the carrier I think probably can go down and take out other people.
yeah. I would like to see what the development budget on this was actually, because that's just the fact that this is such an interesting and new idea, and this is a pretty big risk. Because, like as Adam said, what if only 10 people bought it? Because only 10 people A either liked the idea or B thought it was worth that kind of money. Yeah, well, that kind of money, like that's a big number. But you know what I mean. But yeah, I would love to see in like a month, assuming it takes that long, how the game is doing, and then see what the ending is. Just because I don't want to play it.
The potential idea of like event gaming is kind of cool. Like having like creating a game that can only be played for a limited amount of time. That's
Mhm,
kind of creating an impetus for people to get off the couch and start doing it now rather than later.
true.
Is kind of a cool concept, and I think there's a kernel of something there should it be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would much rather see more of this than more peripherals that make you waggle controllers and all that nonsense. So hey, you're moving in a good direction.
Looks like the developer's name is Vogelsap, and I'm not seeing that they've done anything else.
Oh, that's bold in making this your first title. Wow, that's extremely bold because there are a lot of horror games.
Oh, no, no, no. They've also made the Revealing Revealed.
The revealing revealed.
The Revealing Revealed. It's a two-player game in which both players can't see much but need to defend a crystal from the darkness. However, when the players come together, their enemy position will be revealed.
Huh. Interesting.
Sounds like an
It seems
80s
like,
Jim Henson movie.
yeah. It
The Dark
seems
Crystal.
like they kind of like the idea of playing people off of each other, like based off of that and the flock. Like they like the idea of turning people who are working together into enemies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean
Um,
that's definitely a very good idea because normally you don't see that unless you're playing PvP. So
right. It's not a first person shooter. It's not anything like that. It's different. It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Good for them.
yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Best of luck to the flock. So
Next up,
All right, who's ready for updated sales figures on games that came out in the middle of last generation?
hey,
me.
they're still impressive sales figures though.
Yes, yes, they are. Apparently, it was announced during a shareholder outreach presentation that Take-Two's game Red Dead Redemption, of course made by Rockstar, has shipped 14 million copies
Total.
total. And then, like from what they said, this is count like copies of the original game, not including copies of Undead Nightmare, the expansion.
Which was
And
a
I'm assuming
massive
it's,
success.
yeah. This is not digital sales either.
I don't. Did they
Hold on.
specify that? I
Does not look like it specifies.
Okay. That usually isn't digital sales.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, what makes, if anyone's wondering what makes this especially awesome, it's that for one, so that's a million sales since the 31st of July in 2013. So that's 2 years, but that's a million sales over 2 years. And even in 2013, that was 3 years after the title came out. So it's been 5 years, and people are, or well, not necessarily buying, but they're still shipping this title,
Mm.
which was like critically acclaimed by whoever played it, but me.
You didn't like it?
Nope, I did not like driving around on
What?
horses.
You didn't like looking at a horse ass the entire game?
No, I wasn't really interested in the horse butt. But yeah, I mean, I understand. It looks like it's a very fun game, but I couldn't get into it. I I couldn't get into the horses or the gunplay really, but that's just me. This is just, I mean, collapse. God, I'm so tired. Applause for Take Two and Rockstar because they made an amazing title and it's still showing 5 years later.
It's really cheap too.
Yeah, 14
Uh,
nine. Well, roughly
yeah, if you want to
14.99.
get it, it's like $14.79 on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
Um, for a new copy.
Yeah. Now I'm sure like we would be absolutely blown away by like the sales numbers of Undead Nightmare because I mean that game started as a DLC and then got its own standalone, and
Yep.
it was just like it. I remember that when I was working at GameStop, people were just like picking that up. We could not keep copies in because people would just be like, "Hey, you got that Undead Nightmare?" It's like, "You want to buy Red Dead Redemption 2?" They're like, "No, I don't even know what that is. I just want Undead Nightmare." It's like, okay,
Okay.
yeah. So
Um, yeah, I enjoyed the game. I never got to the end, which is probably a terrible thing to say, but yeah, I think something else probably came down the pipeline that just threw me off course. Um, but what I did play of it, I really enjoyed. So
it has that one really amazing song in it for when you're crossing the border from Mexico or to Mexico. I don't know.
To Mexico.
probably
To Mexico.
Mexico.
Or,
There we
well, you're kind of in Mexico at that point, but yeah, it's like when you're first in Mexico.
go. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. So applause to Take Two. And is it my turn or somebody else's turn? I'm so tired.
It's me.
Okay. I'll shut up.
All right. So Star Fox Zero has a release date apparently.
Ooh.
Nintendo's officially revealed that the release date for Star Fox Zero is a date. Fox Cloud and crew will be saving the Lalot system once again on November 20th, 2015, in both North America and Europe. So Lucy will be happy. Star Fox Zero is the sixth installment in the series and the first original title to come out in 9 long years since Star Fox Command. The game is being co-developed with Platinum Games, the studio behind Bayonetta. Features 4 vehicles: the classic R-Wing, the Walker, the Landmaster, and a new hovercraft called the Gyro Wing. Also revealed is a new box art for the Space Shooter. And it's got Star Fox and the other people, Bunny, Frog, Hawk Dude.
The other people.
Slippy, Falco.
There you
Adam
go.
knows.
I forget what the rabbit's name is.
And it has Japanese characters on the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screw that rabbit.
Things that look cool on boxes and tattoos, but you don't actually know what they say. Uh,
That
I
looks cool.
I have to admit I'm not a fan with what they've done with the deferred characters, and to an extent Falco. That the texturing just looks really weird. I know that has nothing to do with the release date, but it bothers me.
Going off on tangents again,
I
Miles.
I'm
Jeez.
I'm practically asleep right now. I can go on tangents if I want. Uh, but yeah,
Um, it also has amiibo support, which probably should surprise no one.
yeah.
Nope.
You'll get like a whole new wave of. Oh my god, I kind of want to Andros amiibo if they make one. Just like a head on a
Mm.
on a pedestal.
Do you have a Wii U?
Nope. I would just be buying this to have it in my room.
No, I don't know. The texture thing doesn't really bother me. I get why people might be kind of annoyed by it, but I also know, like, you can tell that Nintendo's really trying to do some stuff to vary like what their games are. I mean, Yoshi's Woolly World is Yoshi,
Yeah.
but with a woolly texture, and like an adorable game and it looks awesome, but it's essentially another Yoshi game, and they've been doing that for years now, and people love it because they want more of the franchises that they love and that they enjoy, and that Nintendo's good at making.
Yeah.
But I think everyone in the situation kind of knows that they need to do something different with them, and instead of making a Mario Sunshine 2, they just are going to make another Mario Maker, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Though I don't know. I don't know how good of an idea it is to try to reinvent the Star Fox wheel, because I think if we remember, they did try to do that on the GameCube with Star Fox Adventures, and from what I understand, that didn't exactly turn out all that great.
What was wrong with that, Adam? What didn't you enjoy about that?
I I didn't even play it. I have no comment.
Yeah, I'll admit that I never got a chance to play it, but from what I've read, like historical reactions, says it wasn't the best of games.
No, it wasn't.
But I'm excited for this. I think it's a good sign because I think there was a lot of worry that Nintendo was kind of abandoning the Wii U a little bit with their new console,
Mhm.
and so it's kind of cool to see them announce some stuff to kind of I give maybe to like kind of quell the fans' fears that there's still some life in the Wii U yet.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Wii U has been a like commercial flop, but yeah,
How
Wii
long
U
has it been
has.
out?
2 years? No, it has been more than that.
It has to have been more than that.
I know it wasn't out when I was working at GameStop.
Didn't it come out before Xbox 360 or Xbox One and PS4?
Yes,
Yes,
it's been
it
out for
did.
3 years. November 30th, or in North America, November 18th. So yeah,
So it'll probably be like another year and a half to 2 years before NX comes out.
probably.
So it's a 5-year lifespan. I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
hmm
especially since the other big dogs are just like, yeah, our consoles last forever. Bring it on.
Well, it could be even worse than that because I mean I have read some stories indicating that they may be ready to go into mass production next year, possibly with like a launch window of late next year.
Yeah,
Ooh,
well, it's maybe. I mean, they're not going to do it any time earlier than that. I feel like because
Right.
they're not gonna skip E3. Like that's
yeah.
just not gonna happen. They're not gonna be like, oh, we'll release this before we can even announce it at E3. That's gonna be the big thing that they'll
It,
do next year.
if anything, they could just like release it at E3.
Go home and buy your NX.
I that would be monumental. It would just be like it would validate all the EV games that were like taking reservations for it before they
Right,
even knew when it was out.
right.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that next year, next E3 is sort of Nintendo's year to shine. I feel like the past few years, everybody's just been kind of like it's between Microsoft and Sony.
Mhm.
Um, and it's really sad because there's a lot of history and a lot of life in Nintendo.
True.
And like they're definitely not floundering. It's just that they've released a floundering system.
Yeah.
I mean, they could release another like 10 of these things, like another 10 Wii U's, and they'll be fine. The 3DS is like the best
Gangbusters.
handheld out there right now. It's amazing how successful that system is,
Hmm.
and continues to be. And I think that they may be, I hope that they may be gathering their rosebuds before this next E3 and just kind of like ready to blow everyone away.
Yeah, yeah. I would honestly like. I know I say it all the time, but if they announce at E3 one, and I have a job, so I have money. One, if they're like, hey, you can buy the NX today. It's an actual next gen system. I'll be like, huh, you have my attention, PlayStation, Nintendo. You have my attention. And then they're like, and guess what? Pokemon. I'll just be like, I don't have my wallet on me, but you can have my phone. Just take all that money that I've spent. Uh, so yeah,
I want, and I thought that the Wii U was a perfect opportunity for a true Pokemon Snap sequel.
yeah, that would have
That would
been
have been amazing.
really good. Yeah, but
Um, but apparently, probably not.
I don't think we're ever gonna see another Pokemon Snap, to be honest.
Why not? The game
I
was amazing.
It was good. It was really good. I had a lot of fun with it, but it probably isn't going to come back. But actually, this is another question. Like, does anyone really want to talk about like really badly want to talk about the other release dates for Nintendo or the Uber delivering Madden in the
Meh.
last 7 minutes we have? Okay,
Nope.
If you got something else, go for it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Now I've already answered it, of course. What game releasing at the same like as a release title day one with the NX would make you just like it's done. I got it. It's in my house already. The delivery man is bringing it to my door, etc. Just immediately, you're just gonna buy it that moment.
Hey, you Pikachu too.
Is that a
I'm totally
serious
lying.
answer?
No. um, I don't know. I mean, I am a big Zelda fan.
Mm,
Um, but I would be really disappointed if they released Zelda on NX.
okay.
Um, I honestly like Pokemon Snap for Wii U would have done it for me. Like I really would have done that because it seemed like such a perfect fit.
Hmm.
Um, Open world Pokemon game would be cool too. Open world Pokemon Snap game would be cool. Uh, Open
Oh
world
my.
Pokemon game that has a Pokemon Snap side mission
There we go.
also acceptable. Um, but really, like, there's no Mario games that really draw me anymore. Mario Sunshine 2 would be cool, but it wouldn't pull me to the system.
Mm,
Um, and the price tag would have to be right too.
yeah.
I'm not necessarily for them going competitive with power of their system with Microsoft and Sony.
Mm,
I don't think they necessarily need it unless they really want to pursue third-party developers. And it doesn't seem like they really want to.
okay.
So
That is a solid answer. Adam, what's the killer app for you?
Zelda would be the obvious answer, so I'm not going to go for that. Eternal Darkness 2.
That is a very good answer. You've just made a
Because
lot of people happy.
Eternal Darkness was a friggin' fantastic game, like a brilliant, like innovative game system, and then unfortunately, like it disappeared when we should have gotten a chance to see them develop that out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eternal Darkness, for those of you who don't know, was that was the horror game, correct? The survival horror
Hmm.
game that
Mhm.
played a bunch of crazy tricks on you as the gamer, like make you think your game had turned off, the screen would just get staticky, and you'd have like the input X thing at the top.
Hmm.
It broke the mold in terms of horror games. Like as you got crazier, I believe more things happened.
Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'm talking completely off secondhand experiences. I never played it, but I heard about
Oh,
it.
that's right.
Yeah,
It's like if the Psycho Mantis fight in Metal Gear Solid was an entire game.
that is a
I was just
very
gonna
good way to
say.
put it.
I was just gonna say that they're basically the Hideo Kojima like troll moments.
But his
Hmm.
troll moments are so wonderful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
Vision nailed.
I guess the main thing we can take away from this topic is that we need to know what the NX is, because we don't even know what it is yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we know basically nothing about it, don't we? I
Yeah.
think they've actually already said that it's not going to be power competitive,
Did
right?
they?
Or
Oh,
somebody leaked that or something.
I'd read something like that, which is kind of disappointing because I feel like that's kind of the problem they keep on running into, or at least one of the problems they keep on running into, is they release like an inferior system power wise, and so then they're pretty much stuck with their like small smattering of like their games and like the developers
mhm.
who work specifically for them, while most other major developers just kind of take a wide berth around them because they don't want to have to like stunt their games to fit
Yeah.
that system.
Yeah.
I feel like
Um,
they're. I was gonna say I feel like they're like they keep the DS, as we all know, the Game Boy franchise as a whole was like lightning in a bottle. They were just like, we got it. It's game over for handheld franchise. We got that one locked down. And I feel like they keep just trying to like make that happen on consoles, if you will. Like I don't know, like that's how I feel about all the gimmicks. Just like they're trying. I get that they're trying to be unique. They're trying to give gamers something that you don't get everywhere else, or well, that you don't get as well everywhere else. Because there's the Move, but no one uses that. Um, but honestly, I do think it's time for them to kind of like catch up, essentially. But
well,
that's just my opinion.
is it almost too late though? No, now because I feel like they already have such an image of being the second choice. Like I've got my PlayStation and I don't really want an Xbox, so I'll just go get a Wii U. Um, and it's because they're cheaper and it's because they have like the very niche games,
Mhm.
the games that maybe speak to someone's childhood or are just like the one game that they want on their system. Like I would really like to play the next Zelda game. I might end up picking up a Wii U at some point in the future to do that, but that's the only game that would really want to play on there. Um, and I think that they've almost found a market for that, but then again, the Wii U has been, I don't want to call it a failure, but I'm pretty sure for a while there they were losing on it.
Eh,
They may still be, I don't know.
they probably still are.
Well, what do you think it's going to do to Nintendo's fortunes when, if and when, like, which the reports I've been hearing make it sound like this is inevitable, with the whole Universal Nintendo thing really heat?
All right, sorry, say that again.
I said, like, I wonder what it's going to do, what it's going to do to the overall Nintendo popularity if and when, like, Universal starts dropping Nintendo into its theme parks.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing, but I feel like
Yes, it sure is.
I feel like that's honestly like an audience that when I think of gamers who aren't like I know this is gonna sound really stupid and really bad. Gamers who aren't real gamers, if you will. I know everyone who plays games is a real gamer. That's not what I mean, but like in hardcore gaming isn't really a thing. But like gamers who like are on the cusp, I guess, the outlier. Like they know
Hmm.
what they're doing, they know games, but they don't really like go as deep in. It's hard to put it into words, but like
it's probably more of a hobby for some people than it is like a genuine like regular mode of entertainment.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. But it's just like the people who are on the outlier. I feel like they are the people who know we. I feel like those are also the kind of people who would be at Universal theme parks. Not saying that like, oh, you're a gamer, you must not like theme parks, but it's just like I feel like that audience is when most of that audience would already be hit. Just because that, when I think of
Hmm.
theme parks, I think of families, children, or like teenagers who just go for the fun of it. I don't know. But those are the kind of people who like, my mom got me a Wii on Christmas because she's a mom and it's Nintendo and it's cheaper and it's something that, it's like, yeah, there's a
Right.
Wii for your kid, buy it.
It's
So,
friendly, family ready.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I feel like that market would have already been tapped, but I mean, who knows? There could be like some somebody walking through Universal who didn't know what a
Well, there's
Nintendo was.
also always room for reinforcing that and for selling their IPs after they've
Right.
already gotten their systems to that market.
Sure.
Right.
Like they are obviously right now pretty much only selling what they make
Yeah.
for their systems, and well, for I guess for the Wii U,
Mhm.
and so they need to make sure that that's translating. And like I've never seen a an ad for a Wii U game, really. Not that I can think of.
Mhm.
And so, what else is a good way of advertising? Oh, well, let's team up with a theme park, a really popular theme park, and make
Hmm.
sure that everywhere someone looks, they see Mario or they see Link. And you better believe that when they go home, that's what they're going to be thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point.
It's good marketing.
Yeah.
What I've what I've heard is they're developing like some kind of Mario Kart coaster.
That'd be cool.
That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
that does sound
Uh,
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you just throw bananas at people too?
Yeah, I would hope that me and my roommate were discussing that. I would hope there's probably some kind of interactive element to it,
Yeah. It would have to be,
like a
otherwise it's just
racing
go karts.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, you base like part of your theme park around video games. Like it kind of begs you to make it interactive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Can't really be passive. But anyway,
Well, gents, we have actually gone over about 2 minutes, but this was a good conversation. But I'm
Hmm.
extremely tired, and I feel like my responses are just going to go downhill from here. So we should
it is
probably
bedtime
call it a
at
night.
bedtime. Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
everyone, this has been episode 92 of the MONG Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. It's been fun, and there's things I need to read, and I need to not forget to read them like I usually do. So our usual schedule is to record on Tuesday nights and release on Wednesday. This week it's probably going to be recorded tonight and released tonight, kind of early in the
Tonight,
morning on Tuesday.
Monday.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I should say words because I'm not just. Yeah, I'm so tired. You can email us at contact@mong@gmail.com. You can find our Mong Twitter account at mong.com. Spell out .com. There you go. You can find us on YouTube at Mong Network, as well as Middle of Nowhere Gaming Plays. You can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and all those other wonderful places by searching up Mong. And last but not least, you can check out middleofnowheregaming.com, which is our actual website, our official big time website. It's very pretty and we're awesome, and you can see our faces there and sleeping miles. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter personally at Fierce Milk. You can find Adam on Twitter at
Teabag underscore your face or boy under Adam.
the last one is where you can actually find him, and you can find Jordan at
JL underscore Fluor.
Yep, and if you need to see any of those and you're watching the podcast, they're right underneath our faces, our beautiful faces. So tear your eyes for them for like 2 minutes to search us up on Twitter if it takes you that long. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but anyway, everyone, good night. You have a good week.
Good night,
Um,
long, long.
Mom.